cap, and then there's a guy, Doug, on Mutiny, who ordered a blue cap, and he was given the visor, and I was given the white cap.
Yes. Is there anyone holding one? So the blue
It's not there.
there.
Okay. Well then Doug
said like he wants
the cap. Yeah.
So they are down now. They're down there. Are you guys playing now?
I'm not. I'm on by top of the court.
Okay. The net will be down there.
Okay.
But look how Queens are playing down there somewhere.
Okay.
So she will go there.
So much here. Alright, cool. Thanks. I have a t-shirt. She said pink and white striped t-shirt.
Yes. She's tall with blonde curly hair.
Blonde curly hair? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You've just been watching me, bro.
For like, an hour, dude.
Wait. Foot size. Now you just do a one size fits all solution, bro.
Listen.
The problem is now.
I went to the bathroom and looked at myself in the mirror.
Some teams that have
that's what you do.
so within the results.
Yeah.
But then the other team has
their
results.
At least like the first score is an average.
Also, like, I was getting confused if they're vegan out and I was like,
some people should have actually changed it.
Why you
like
random?
the first score. Not just the first score of the game.
yeah, but then we only needed one.
But now because some people aren't submitting their results. Now because some people aren't submitting their results, we don't have all the scores. I think all the results.
Okay.
But that's not
Big time. It's such a big time.
You're losing your mind, dude.
This is all mine. This is all I want.
Good, how are you?
Oh, Jason, you
How's
beat
it
me.
going?
You beat me. Yeah.
No, we got good. Good, how are you? Good.
Second
You're
half.
playing most weekend.
Thank you.
We woke up in the second half.
You guys are excited. You guys are very, very excited. Because everyone that you're playing against is good. Don't forget. Everyone you're playing against.
They'll play like hard all day.
We're going to get to 35, 30 something. We're just going to take a small bit. And if you guys keep going up,
that is true. If you guys are at the level of like some like previously in South African Ultimate, you would peak is like late 20s, like 30. But you guys are like
already close to
you guys are already like
at the age of 12.
at the age of I think that all these quarterfinals are going to be walkovers. They're going to end so quickly.
Yeah.
Because Nightmares, my ladies, I think that Nightmares are going to take it, walk over. Hot Sauce is going to walk over. Malachi Queens. They're all going to be walkovers, and all these quarterfinals will be done in like an hour. So, but that means everybody gets more rest time.
True. That's right, because if we've got extra, they still start on schedule. Like, whatever gap they have, they get
Yeah.
to use.
Sorry to interrupt. It's definitive goal difference.
Goal difference.
These people asking for lifters for one thing.
Yeah, so I said the Worcester food.
Yes, not
and
the
then,
same.
and then Dylan messaged me privately and he was like, the Safta rule says different. And then I checked the Safta
No,
check.
that's chill because that rule recently introduced in 2022. The night of Nationals.
Well,
You
bro,
remember?
I was on SAFTA for that, bro. And the same guy that messaged me, bro. Yeah, tell him.
But head to head, goal difference.
This was chill, man.
Goal difference always made more sense to me. Head to head
Disagree.
doesn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the quarterfinals of Open and Women's Nationals 2025. Quarterfinals between the ladies teams, B2 and A3, the second team from the B group, and the third team from the A group. We have the Nightmares in white versus the Marty's ladies, Miladies, in red. Maroon? I'm a bit colorblind. I think that's maroon. That's that color. Looking to be quite an entertaining match. The Nightmares coming second in their group makes them the favorite for this match. I'm sure Miladies are looking to upset. The pull is good from Petra Crawford of the Miladies. Picked up by the Nightmares. Quick movement early on in this point. Bianca Ahrens, the captain, in a handling position. Receives the disc again. Looking for a forehand. Turned over by Miladies. The disc is spread to Alois Wiepener, who spreads it further out wide. Back to Alois in the central handling position. Milady still in possession here. Good use of the width of the field to move the disc forward. Alois with the disc again. Again, good use of the width of the field by the Miladies. A long possession for them now. Oscillating between the left-hand side and right-hand side of the field. Looking for a shot up the field. The stall count reset with every completed pass. Alois with the disc again. A floating forehand brought down by the Nightmares. Not blocked, but caught. A shot towards the end zone, floating wonderfully for the receiver. Had to lengthen her stride to get underneath that. That's the first point for the Nightmares. And the first point in this quarterfinal. Miladies held possession for most of that last point. But Nightmares proving that possession doesn't always score points. You can still have less time on the disc than your opposition while pulling ahead. Lorna Oliver with the disc now. Preparing to pull for the Nightmares. A flat backhand, landing just about level with the Milady's brick mark. Milady's looking to move the disc forward now. The disc landing in the hands of Tessa Hoy. Evaluates her options and decides to reset. Unfortunately, that reset was a little bit too long for the option. And Nightmares waste no time. With one pass, they convert the turnover, bringing the score to 2-0 to Nightmares. Darren Curry taking a knee in front of the Milady's line. Some words of advice for the next point, I'm sure. Nightmares ready to pull. The disc is out. Lorna Oliver on the pull again. Saskia Prevost kicks to Alois Vierpener. Back to Saskia. The Nightmares turn the disc over, looking to attack back down towards the Milady's end zone. A turnover again. Alois Vierpener approaches the disc. Saskia Prevost was the intended option. The disc ends up in the grass. The Nightmares will take possession around the halfway mark of the field on the right hand side. Good 1-2 play to move the disc up at about 10 meters. Approaching the brick mark, now past the brick mark. The Nightmares look menacing on the Milady's goal line. A bid for the end zone. Unfortunately, a bit too long for Amy Peckett. Could not reel that catch in, or that throw in rather. Milady's moving the disc up the left-hand side of the field. Firdo's Valley was supposed to be the intended receiver of that pass. A little bit too long for her. Petra Crawford on the disc. Apologies, Saskia Prevost. Push to Alois Vierpener, who spreads the disc to Petra Crawford. Back to Alois, back to Petra. Looking up the line now. A little bit left of the mark and a turnover. Anique Becker was the intended receiver of that pass. Unfortunately, Amy Peckett could not be found by the Nightmares after that turnover, and it's back with Milady's. Pushing the disc up the left-hand side of the field. Saskia Prevost on the disc, kicks to Alois. To Miss Crawford. A blading forehand caught by Amy Peckett. Nightmares look to attack up the field again. The disc spread to the central handler, who pushes the disc up to Amy Peckett. Nightmares continue to advance up the field. The bending forehand falls into the grass just before the brick mark for Miladies. Petra Crawford to Alois Vierpener. Back to Saskia Prevost. To Firdose Valley. Now in the center with Alois. Excellent use of the width of the field by Miladies. Back to Alois. Push to Lucy Thomas. A bid for the end zone, just long of Robin Ward. Oh, sorry, Robin Smith. Robin Ward is on the Nightmares line. Yeah. Do you want to? Because you know these guys. Sure.
I think I've learned after yesterday.
The names just come on naturally, I'm sure. Yeah. Nightmares unfortunately cannot keep possession.
Eloise on the desk finds Petra, unfortunately wobbles that, and Nightmares are back on possession.
Nightmares on the right side of the field, looking to move the disc up slowly. Amy Peckett, again the intended receiver, and the disc goes into the grass.
Saskia Prevost with a quick pick up to Lucy. Lucy finding Petra on the side. Eloise making the up line cut. Swinging it nicely to Saskia. To Anik. Anik looking for Robin. Robin makes a nice run. Needs some support now. Petra coming up the line. Might be the easiest up. Petra to Eloise. Past the brick mark now. Petra unfortunately cannot recover that wobble.
Very unfortunate turnover there for Miladies. Disc now back with Nightmares. A timeout called after a lengthy point. Celebration from field 3, I believe. A big spike in the end zone. The Stellenbosch men's team finding success on the field as the timeout on field 6 continues. The score is 2-0 to the Nightmares. While this is a Nightmares timeout, Miladies will take the opportunity to assess how they can reduce the deficit. A strong breeze now coming in from the ocean here at Hudson Park High School in East London. If you've just tuned in, this is the quarterfinal, the first quarterfinal for the ladies being streamed. It is the second place rank from Group B the Nightmares versus the third place rank from Group A, Marty's Ladies from Stellenbosch. The score is 2-0 in favour of the Nightmares as the ladies re-enter the field after a timeout. Nightmares have possession on the right side of the field, just beyond the brick mark, or just before the brick mark rather. Nightmares look for a deep option to bring the disc outside the field and back in. Unfortunately, the disc never came back in and will be taken by Miladies essentially where the disc was thrown.
Eloise and the disc picking up roughly in line with the Nightmares brick line, roughly about 15-16 meters from the end zone. The wind picking up, unfortunately, making that pass to Saskia a bit more tricky than what they would have intended it to be.
Nightmares looking to attack now. They have the wind behind them, pushing towards the end zone. Katie Beiruti sends a deep look. Intended target was Sam Holford, but Miladies take the disc.
Wind really coming to play now. Bit of a pickup off the ocean. So my lady's playing into the wind currently. Eloise finds Anik, looks off Lucy. Saskia crashes, fantastic passes back to Anik. Anik looking up the line. Saskia sees Lucy. Unfortunately, there was contact. So an uncontested contact resulting in the disc not being able to be cleanly executed on the throw. Saskia taps in, looking for options, quite clamped in the space, choosing to swing. Fantastic pass to Eloise, to Petra. Petra looking for options, finds Anik. Anik looks wide, finds Saskia on the line. Saskia looking to flick it, instead finds Anik. Anik, yes, cuts through the field, finds Petra. Petra finds Fidoz, and Miladies have momentum. Unfortunately, a bit of a pop pass going afray.
Nightmares to attack down the other end of the field. The wind is in their favour, but a quick turnover. The disc is back with Miladies.
Petra on the disc. Bit of a zone being forced there. Petra looking deep. I think trying to find Fidoz again. The wind now playing a big role.
Good 1-2 play there from Amy Peckett. She's still on the disc. Her fourth pass in a row, looking for a fifth. Excellent movement up the field from the Nightmares, very confident with the wind behind them. A quick reset, looking for an option into the end zone on the left side of the field. A low cutting forehand does not reach the mark of Sam Holford. Disc back with Miladies.
Petra sings to Eloise. Eloise on to Anik, back to Eloise, onto Robin, and Miladies capitalizing very quickly of a lot of space on the right hand side of the field, swinging back to Saskia Prevost. Marty's hander line has been exceptional, up to Fidoz in the wing. Unfortunately, Petra, I think it might have just been out of her reach.
Nightmares to attack down the field again. A quick check and play. Amy Peckett on the disc in the middle of the field. Good 1-2 work between her and the other Nightmares player. Back to Amy and then turned over in the next pass. The disc returns to the possession of Miladies. A call has been made. An injury call in the end zone. Sam Holford leaves the field. Kez Simpson to replace her. Hands shaken. Saskia Prevost with the disc for Miladies. discussion between Nightmares and Miladies now. The disc is checked in. Dump to Alois. Forward to Anik. A reset to Alois. The disc is spread to Sarah. Sarah kicks to Alois. Forward to Anik.
Anik on the disc now, looking for options. Robin in front of her, but instead finds Saskia. Saskia looking for the flick into the end zone. Unfortunately, just in front of Robin Smith.
Nightmares looking to work the disc out of their own end zone now. Katie Beiruti will pick up the disc, wearing the number 48 jersey. Short options. A fall in front of the disc. No call was made. And play continues. An arcing flick. A near miss between Amy Pickett and Kez Simpson, who makes herself an option in the end zone. Jumps over the line in an attempt to catch the disc within the end zone, but fumbles.
Wind helping Nightmares there with his fantastic half-field huck. Great to see those options being taken. Eloise picks it up. Bit of a zone. Finds their way around to Saskia. Eloise crashes through. No up-the-line option. Finds Lucy. Lucy looking deep. Takes, unfortunately, just too low for Anik.
As the wind picks up, the Nightmares will be very happy to have the disc in this position. Amy Peckett on the disc in a handling position. Kicks to Claudia Ahrens. Back to Amy Peckett. She's had some excellent 1-2 play this morning. A turnover.
Nick, this has been quite a long point. I think we might see another timeout called at this rate. Oh, would you look at that?
Johan should be a weatherman with these predictions. It was to be expected. The girls are tired. We've had one injury this point. 2 timeouts and an injury within a single point. Both teams looking to break the deadlock. Excellent defense from Marties in face of the wind. Maybe some missed opportunities from Nightmares. I'm sure both teams will make use of this timeout to regain some composure. To breathe a little bit. And to mentally prepare to push, to break the deadlock. Ladies and gents, the winner of the match here on Field 6 between the Nightmares and Miladies will move through to the semi-final. One step closer to the final. obviously. Both teams looking to take the W. Nightmares ahead by 2-0. This will be one of the more evenly matched semi-finals, even though the Nightmares are the favorites for this game. Teams that came first in their group play the 4th place in the opposite group in order to have the best chance based on their performance to move through to the semi-finals.
Eloise Vepinol back on the disc, looking for Saskia. Saskia crashing, my apologies, through the cup. Eloise and Saskia, now some nice 1-2 movements now. Eloise finding Anique. Anique just putting it ahead of Saskia, and this point continues.
It does indeed. Nightmares looking to put an end to it though. A deep look into the end zone. Marty's in the way.
Sarah Levin with the D in the handler space now, playing with Eloise. Onto Saskia. Robin looking for Eloise, finds Eloise. Eloise looking, finding Saskia Pivot as a reset option. Saskia finding Sarah. Sarah finding, unfortunately, what is Saskia going to? Saskia has called contact. It has been uncontested, so the disc will remain in Marty's position. For those of you wondering, it seems like Petra has gone off between during the stoppage. Sarah Levin coming on to replace her. She did have a bit of an ankle niggle in the last game. We strapped her before this game. It seems it's still giving a few problems. Back to the action. Unfortunately, Anique's pass to Saskia going to ground.
Nightmares again looking to convert. Managing to stay in Milady's half of the field. No call on the turnover there.
Saskia finding Sarah. Sarah finding Ferdows up the wing, but unfortunately, a bit of contact there. Not sure if the contact influenced play, if it was just a really good D, but the Nightmare Ladies are up, going. It seems like just waiting for clarity on what the decision is. And it's Nightmare's disc.
The turnover stands. Kez Simpson on the front end of that defense. Now an end zone option as Nightmares attack. Kez Simpson is an option just on the line. Nightmares need to compose themselves to complete this conversion, and they do. Kez Simpson, off the back of some excellent defense, finds herself in the end zone after making herself a passing option before entering the end zone. Some excellent, well-rounded play from her. The deadlock is broken. The score is 2-1 to the Nightmares.
2-1
to Nightmares. Sorry. 3-1. 3-0, sorry.
Correction from the commentary box. 3-0 to the Nightmares. When you're busy spectating around this lovely panoramic view that we have up here, you tend to lose track of things, trying to keep track of all the different games. Maz Mallet's Donkeys on the right hand side here. Lots to play for there, but Donkeys clinical as ever currently as things stand. Coach DC at the far end there rallying his troops. He's been exceptional for them, very proud of their results early in the day, ensuring that they have a apologies of Mark finisher there. Nightmares of the Huckaroli one. running down the middle of the field. It is turning. Miladies might just let it make some more distance. Anna Meyer from Germany on the disc finds Sarah Levin in the central handler position. Finding, that is Christine. Christine looks off Ella. Eventually finding Ella. Ella looking for options. She's got Mia Hamm on the line. Looks to go back and swing through Sarah Levin to Anna. Tessa making cuts to the far right hand side of the field, helping the Marty's team out with this campaign, playing for Anna finds the disc. Anna sees Ella, bit of a lofty one. Ella's got it. Ella to Anna. Anna's got Christine as an option, but it's a bit of a tight channel. Sarah does the sensible thing of swinging 1-2 between Christine and Anna. We saw a lot of that earlier today. Mary, unfortunately, a little bit of a touch through to Christine.
Nightmares will regain possession after quite a lengthy possession from Miladies. Excellent work up the field there. They attempt to come back down the field, the Nightmares. Bianca Orange, the captain, on the disc in a handler position. Looking to reset on the sideline. Moving the disc up to Amy Peckett. Back to Bianca, who looks deep. A one-handed catch attempt followed by a re-catch attempt with two hands. Still ended up in the grass for the Nightmares. Miladies will return.
Possession now. Miladies. Sarah picks up the disc. The right-hand channel of the field. Anna makes a nice early cut. Ooh, almost. Is that Anna at the back? It does look like her. Tessa to Ella. Ella finds Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm passing it back, swinging around to Ella. Ella looks Sarah Levin. Sarah Levin finding Anna. And now suddenly, lots of space down the right-hand side of the field. Mary looking for Christine. Finds Christine. Ooh, unfortunately, Christine can't keep a hold of that disc.
The Nightmares with a quick, deep look in the face of the wind. Bianca Orange attempts a backhand up the field. Blades into the earth. Miladies to return down the field.
Ella forced on the disc, swings to Sarah. Sarah looking down the field. The central channel to Tessa. Unfortunately, can't connect. Nightmares back on the disc.
Nightmares in a dangerous position on the right-hand side of the field, just outside the end zone. A bid for the end zone, turned over quickly, and Miladies attack.
An interception by Nightmares already right in front of the end zone. And that is just outside, pass in, and that is a score for Nightmares. Takes us to 4-0.
Miladies need to build some momentum to regain some of the deficit created by the Nightmares. Darren Curry visible on the field again, giving some advice to his team. The pull is good. With the help of the wind, it lands just in bound. Miladies pick up.
Petra on the disc, swinging to Eloise. Wind picking up a bit more. Petra gathers cleanly. Unfortunately, can't find Eloise. Saskia, reliable in that central handler position. Comfortably takes it. But a hand block by Nightmares put them in a dangerous position to score. Saskia Privar unfortunately quite frustrated with her teammates. No up being called after Mark was able to break off and score on the end of the back of the end zone. I don't know half of them.
Nightmares looking to extend their lead. A very, very dominant performance from them so far. Some highly contested points though. But the scoreboard tells the story. Lisa Monroe on the pull there. Miladies with the disc.
Finds Anna. Finds Tess. Tessa. I'm not too sure. Sarah. Sarah finds Ella Forster. Ella looking for an up the line option. Doesn't see it. Oh, but does manage to get through to the central channel of the field. Anna finding Ella again. Ella 1-2 of Anna. Unfortunately, they don't connect that time round.
Katie Beiruti was on the end of that interception. A look into the end zone now. Ripped down by Kez Simpson for another conversion. The Nightmares now building some momentum in their point scoring. Some encouragement from the Milady sideline.
Multiple upwind breakpoints scored by Nightmares so far. That's going to hurt a little bit later on as we expect the wind to pick up. The pool finding Petra, who's back on the field now, finding Eloise, maybe looking at her. Oh, unfortunately, the wind pushing the disc downfield away from Petra.
Nightmares now looking to capitalize on a turnover quite deep into the Milady's half and quickly converted with one pass. Kez Simpson again on the receiving end of the pass into the end zone. The score Lorna Oliver to pull.
Ella Forster finding Sarah. Well, ladies don't want to be caught pushing too far back towards the end zone, especially with the wind to their back. Ella finding Anna. Anna cutting through the defense, finding Tessa. Tessa, Anna, 1-2s looking off Mary. Anna in the middle of the field. Swinging the disc to Sarah, swinging the disc to Ella. Ella looking for Mia Hamm, unfortunately cannot find Mia.
There seems to have been a call on what looked like a turnover. No call. Katie Beiruti stands over the disc. Unfortunately, cannot complete the first pass. Miladies will take the disc back.
Marty's needing to keep their head now to get a score on the board. Sarah Levin, unfortunately, passing it straight into the extended arm of the Nightmare defender.
Nightmare's now looking to get out of their half. The wind playing a role. Back with Miladies.
Anna Meyer getting the interception, finding Mary on the far right. Mary hustles twice, finds Anna. Anna looking for an option, not seeing anything immediately, deciding to go back to Mary. Sarah giving herself as a swing option. Sarah now looking down the center of the field to Anna. Anna looks off Mary. Anna cutting through the center of the field to Ella. Ella finding Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm with a lofted throw, unfortunately not connecting with Christine.
Katie Beiruti standing over the disc again. A consistent handling performance from her so far. Into the ground.
My ladies again finding themselves in pole position to get onto the scoreboard. Setting up, and a timeout is called by Anna.
The third timeout of the first half. Milady still looking to find a way into the Nightmare end zone. Ladies and gents, if you've just tuned in, you are watching the first quarterfinal of Opens and Women's Nationals 2025 here in East London. We are at the Hudson Park High School. It's a beautiful day. Skies are clear. The sun is out. We've got a little bit of wind, but the ladies are handling that just fine. We've got the Nightmares playing Miladies, as I mentioned before, in the first quarterfinal, the one that we're streaming at least on field 6 here at Hudson Park. Nightmares running away with the game a little bit. We had a very lengthy point earlier on in the half, populated by 2 timeouts and an injury. The reset after the timeout. Miladies dangerously close to the Nightmare end zone, looking to convert. To get onto the scoreboard. Pass to the central handler. Sarah Levin. A deep dump. Retreating now back to the brick mark. Turned over. The Nightmares will take possession again. Bianca Ahrens on the disc, the captain for the Nightmares today. Kicks to Katie Beiruti, back to Bianca. Now forward to Lorna Oliver, who's been very efficient with her pulls today, or very effective with her pulls today, even in the face of the wind. Katie Beiruti with the disc. A dump. to Bianca Ahrens, the captain. Marching on the end zone. The Nightmares look menacing. Amy Peckett converts with... I'm not sure who she converts with, but Nightmares add another to the tally. And halftime is upon us.
Yeah, we're kind of slack into all the groups and stuff.
It was a phone. I'm trying. I have a picture of the phone on my mind. I have a leather cover.
It's my friend's phone, but
No, I actually don't even know where I remember that from. Being a phone. Actually, this would be where. So it might end up here.
yeah.
Where can I find it?
Yeah, can I give you my name?
Yes. Phone number.
R-E-N-E 083 324 1364. Thanks so much.
Pleasure. Welcome back to the ladies with the disc.
Unfortunately, caught out of bounds. Nightmares will regain possession. A little bit of discussion being made, being had. Apologies. Lorna Oliver on the disc. Looking for the end zone. 2 Miladies and 2 Nightmares underneath that disc, and it ends up in the grass. Miladies will attempt to work back down the field. The wind is behind them.
Disc swung to Petra. Petra finding Saskia. My lady's getting a little bit of momentum with the wind helping Eloise. Now with the disc finding Petra. Petra to my ladies. Cutting to the far right of the field. Saskia finds Anik. Anik looking to try find Petra. Finds Petra on the wobble. Petra finds Lucy. Lucy to Petra. Petra to Eloise. Eloise to Anik. Anik back to Eloise. My ladies holding the disc quite nicely, taking their time. Ooh, unforced error, unfortunately. Disc going over Saskia's head. Just too big of a pass from Eloise for the occasion. Disc being hacked deep. Eloise trying to get the D, unfortunately cannot. And Nightmares score. Number 64.
Number 64, Kez Simpson. She has been on the receiving end of a lot of conversions this game. Putting in work on that end of the field and this end of the field. The Yes Queens call can be heard from field 5. I believe Chad Betts led that cry. He's not a queen. It is 2025. Maybe he is a queen. The Nightmares set up to pull. Hands raised by my ladies.
Disc getting down the field past the brick mark. Sarah 11 picks up the disc pass to Anna, back to Sarah. Sarah finding Ella in the far left out of the field. Looks off Mia Ham. Finds, unfortunately, just turfs the disc in front of Sarah. Nightmares with the disc, looking for a quick attack. Fortunately, the wind, as it continues to pick up, downwind discs are flying a lot further than they normally would. Ella Forster with the disc, looking for Anna. Bit of a lofted grab. Anna gets out of it. On to Christine, and a big D by number 48 for the Nightmares.
Katie Beiruti putting in work to get that disc back. Now a look into the end zone, and again, Kez Simpson underneath the disc. The number 64 putting in lots of work today. Kez Simpson is now the main point scorer for, well, I think she has been the whole game, but she is the main point scorer for the Nightmares. So we believe the score at halftime was 7, not 8, for Nightmares. It makes sense with such long points that the half was called on time, which leaves the Nightmares at 9 points to 0. There is a sausage dog joining the Nightmares line. That's not in the rules. Only 7 players allowed on the field during the pull. I'm sure there'll be spirit scores deducted.
Little sausage dog keeping us entertained. Your roller from Nightmares doing the job. Going out on the end zone, my apologies, the sideline, roughly halfway up the field. My ladies with the wind to their back, hopefully can capitalize from this and get on the scoreboard. Scoreboard not reflecting the effort they've put in and how close they've come, but just unable to be clinical in that final quarter of the field. As Sarah swings to Saskia, Saskia finds Tessa. Tessa finds Saskia. We've got some good momentum here. Level head, Sarah looking for Anna, can't find her, flicks to Tessa. Tessa looking upfield, doesn't find anything, looks to swing back to Sarah. Sarah trying to find Saskia, but instead goes down the middle of the field. Unfortunately can't find Anna, number 26 of a nice deep.
Katie Beiruti quickly moves that disc off to Lorna Oliver. Nightmares attempting to move up the right side of the field, turned over.
Anna Maya on the disc. Flicks to Sarah 11. Sarah 11 looking for Saskia Privo. Saskia finding Tessa. Tessa back to Saskia. Very effective 1-2 Marties have employed when they find themselves the disc on the sideline. Unfortunately, disc being turfed in attempts to reach Petra.
Lorna Oliver there to pick up the disc, gets a reset, spreads the disc out wide and receives it again. Good 1-2 play from her. Looking for options up the right side of the field, finds Amy Peckett. Back to Lorna Oliver. Amy Peckett yanks the disc down in the end zone. A bit of a wobbly, bladey forehand, but not too much for her to handle. Another conversion for the Nightmares. The timeout has been called by my ladies. Number 4, Ella Forster, raising her hands in the T position for timeout. The first timeout of the second half. Ladies and gents, if you're in East London and you're watching the live stream, why not come and join us here in person? You'll be spoilt for choice. We can only stream one game for you, but there are multiple games for you to watch if you come through in person. At the moment we're watching the Marties ladies versus the Nightmares. Marties ladies are from Stellenbosch, and the Nightmares are from Pietermaritzburg in KwaZulu-Natal. A battle between the eastern region and the western region, heavily in favor of the eastern region at the moment. The score is 10-0 in favor of the Nightmares. Nightmares re-entering the field to prepare for the pull. Marty's Ladies still in discussion on the side of the field. An enthusiastic call from the Marty's Ladies as they re-enter the field. Still looking to put points on the board.
Nightmares with the pull. A nice low drifty one lands exactly on top of the brick mark. Sarah 11 picks up, finds Anna. Anna looking for the flick option. Fortunately doesn't find it. Swings to Sarah. Sarah break through the cup, finds Ella. Ella looks and finds Anna. We might have an upwind point on our hand to Mary. Mary finds Tessa. Tessa finds Sarah. Ladies are swinging very well. Easy pass to Anna. Anna continues the flow of the disc to Ella. Ella to Anna. Anna looks off Christine, finds Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm looking for Christine, unfortunately cannot connect.
The disc back with the Nightmares, moving effectively up the field, looking dangerous. Pass is a little bit wobbly in the wind, but possession maintained. Now making use of the wind to get the disc into the end zone. Big defense in the end zone by Marty's Ladies. I think there's a contact call on that turnover. If the turnover stands. Contested contact call in the catch will return to the thrower. Nightmares in possession, just about level with the brick mark. The wind behind them, maybe another long option into the end zone. A shorter pass chosen into the grass. My Ladies take possession.
Ella forced on the disc, looks to swing to Sarah 11. Sarah swinging around to Anna. Tessa activating very well, unfortunately a defender doing equally as well. Anna trying to force a disc, falls over. Not too sure what the hand signals are indicating, maybe a travel, but play resumes and it passes off immediately. Back to Anna Meyer, swings to Sarah. Sarah pressed to try to get around onto her. Ooh, and they bring that. Ooh, unfortunate. Ella Foster drops the disc in the end zone. The disc will be picked up and taken to the front of the end zone and tapped in.
Bianca Oran's on the disc looking for a quick conversion. And Kez Simpson again receiving in the end zone. A pivotal offensive player. More points have been scored by her than haven't by the Nightmares this game. Nightmares to pull again. $11-0 to the Nightmares. 4 points to end this game. pull from the Nightmares.
Wind being awfully nasty to that pull. A flick that just turned over a bit too much. Wind pushing it back within the Nightmares half. Marty's unfortunately not able to hold on to what was a rather great opportunity.
The captain, Bianca Arons, picked that disc up. We've got a bit of contact into a catch on the right side of the field. The Nightmares player stays down. An injury has been called. Hopefully nothing too serious. Kez Simpson, who's put on an offensive masterclass today, leaves the field. Discussion continues as to the result of the play. The disc is back in. Katie Beruti dumps. Nightmares moving up the field now. Paige Smith, oh apologies, not Paige Smith. Bianca Arons on the disc. Kicks to Amy Peckett. Bianca Arons on the disc again, looking for the end zone. Floating in, dragged down by Amy Peckett with a massive height advantage. Nightmares to pull again. That brings the score to 12-0 in favor of the Nightmares. Excellent use of the wind on the pull there. Lands just in bounds on the right hand side of the field.
Saskia Prevo picks up, holsters a few times, decides to swing to Sarah. Sarah finding Anna. Anna finding Eloise. Eloise finding Petra. A bit of it. Ooh, the wind picks up. Ella Forster picks up instead, and unfortunately Petra cannot hold. Let's see. Oh, Anna with a big D. Marty's, it looks like, has put an S line on into the wind. Combination of their standard lines. They've been playing with two different lines, and a lot of chemistry is built. Saskia Prevo, one of the captains, has mentioned that it has been very useful for them and the chemistry it's built within their squads. And I see you've got a couple of each of that line currently on. I think it's a indication of Coach DC wanting to definitely get a few points on before the end of this game.
Nightmares now playing the disc from just in front of their end zone, looking to move up the field and attack the Marladies end zone.
a very quick block by Petra. Seems to be a lot more comfortable on her feet after going off earlier. Sarah assuming the central handler position, finds Saskia. Saskia looking for Eloise, who seems to be wide open at on the edge of the end zone. Swung to Anna, Anna to Tessa. Tessa looking up the line, instead choosing to swing back to Anna. Great continuation and swinging work by the ladies. Anna deciding to rather go to Saskia, who unfortunately cannot hold on.
Nightmares regain possession in the center of the field. Good 1-2 play to make about 5 meters of distance between them. A turnover.
Unfortunately, this commentator did not see what happened. Was that a D? A D by Ella Forster, I presume. I'm going to get ridiculed for not having watched that. Sarah to Anna. Anna to Sarah. Sarah looking for Saskia. Saskia looking to break through the cup, but instead decides to go to Anna. Anna finding Tessa. Eloise being an ideal option up the line, but the wind is making things tricky. Sarah finds Ella. Ella finds Tessa. Tessa finds Anna. And Anna looks off Petra, goes to Ella instead. And Ella gives the assist to Tessa. And that is their first point of the game.
Fantastic stuff from Miladies to break the scoring streak of Nightmares. And the line is ecstatic. The whole sideline enters the field to congratulate the offensive line there on their score. Nightmares still leading. The score is 12-1. Nightmares need 3 points to close this game out. Marty's ladies going to do their absolute best to prevent that from happening anytime soon. We love to see the energy after scoring that point. Just goes to show that it doesn't matter the deficit. Ultimate is still the best sport to play. My ladies to pull. Assisted by the wind, that disc lands between the end zone line and the brick mark on the Nightmare side of the field, rather. Lorna Oliver, an assertive handling performance from her today. Excellent movement up the field from her. A look into the end zone. Unfortunately, Kez Simpson, who previously went off with an injury call, now back on the field, could not reel that one in. She has reeled in lots of other bids for the end zone though. My ladies now working back down the field. Alois Vierpener, the captain. My ladies with the disc. Turned over in the center of the field on the right hand side. Nightmares will pick up. Katie Beiruti on the disc. Checks it in. Taps it on the ground. Lorna Oliver makes herself available. Another turnover. My ladies will look to attack the Nightmare end zone now. Good work from Alois Vierpener in the center of the field to keep the disc moving. Some momentum being built now towards the end zone. A reset. More movement up the field. My ladies knocking on the door, and another conversion, 2 in a row. My ladies will be ecstatic with the newfound momentum against the Nightmares. The whole sideline again coming in to congratulate the offensive line.
The Marty-centric commentator is back. We have some action on the right-hand side of the field up here on field 3. Marty's Muzzmullets versus Long Donkeys. Score there 49 in favor of Long Donkeys. Marty's getting a nice break point there, looking to put double digits on the board. But in front of the camera where the real action is, the Maladies have scored a downwind point. Taking the score to 12-2. Sarah 11 of the pull. Bit of a roller. Gets into the Nightmares half.
Lorna Oliver to pick up the disc. Looking for options downfield. Space on her forehand side. Connects. An attempt to reset to Lorna bobbled and dropped. My Ladies will pick up the disc.
My Lady's going to have to work hard up the wind now. Mary with the disc taps it in. So far only Ella Forster activated, but the defender doing well. Swings from Sarah to Anna, Anna to Tessa. Tessa, Anna with that inside cut again. Stock standard in their play so far today. Sarah finding Ella, Ella finding, ooh, unfortunately Mary can't hold on. Marty's quickly turning to defend.
Nightmares to pick up the disc. Bianca Orange, the captain with the disc there. Good pressure from the defense to force another turnover. Another turnover, unfortunately, by Marty's Ladies. Lorna Oliver, a quick look at Bianca Orange. Maybe a little bit too quick. Bianca's hands were not up in time to effectively cradle the disc. And Lorna Oliver sets up the mark on Sarah 11. Ella Forster looks to give it back to Sarah 11 now. Lorna Oliver looks to throw to Kez Simpson in the end zone, where she's been ever available. Unfortunately, the wind pushes the disc into the floor. Mary from Marty's Ladies to pick up the disc. Spreads the disc to Sarah 11, who pushes forward to Tessa Hoy. Tessa, back to Sarah, forwards, and then left to Mary, dropped 2 meters, or less than, from the end zone line. Bianca Arons on the disc, a quick pop into the end zone for the score. That brings Nightmares to 13. Marty's Ladies remain at 2. The players leave the field. I believe a timeout has been called. timeout coming to an end shortly. In the the ladies quarterfinal between the Nightmares and Marty's ladies. Marty's ladies were third in Group A, and the Nightmares were second in Group B. The Nightmares to pull. Some discussion still continuing on the Marty side of the field. Coach Darren Curry has taken a knee in front of the line. Still chatting to his team. Now exiting the field. We can expect the pull imminently. A forehand pull from the Nightmares. The number 95, Lisa Monroe, on that pull.
Saskia Privo picks up, finds Sarah 11. Sarah 11 finds Anamaya. Anamaya looks off Tessa. Sarah in the middle of the field. She has some swing options. Decides to swing to Saskia, who swings to Eloise. She's got a knee running up the field, looks her off, swings again to Saskia, finds Petra in the middle of the field. Petra of just in front of the end zone. Passes back to Sarah. Marty's needed. Just keep their head now, not rush this. Fantastic discipline. Eloise to Sarah. Sarah finds Anna in the end zone, and that takes them to 3. Or 4. 3. My apologies.
Huge shout out to Johan for helping out with the commentary on the Marty's ladies side. Marty's ladies will be extremely happy with that conversion. Struggled to find their rhythm early on. Nightmares got away with more points than Marty's ladies would have been happy with, or were happy with. Nightmares still with a big enough of a cushion to not have to worry too much about giving away points. Score is 13-3. Marty's ladies to pull. Mary with the disc. A strong pull into the center of the field in the face of the wind. Lands just north of the brick mark on the Nightmare side of the field. The disc is moved to the central handler, who evaluates her options. Resets to Bianca Orange, the captain for the Nightmares today. Amy Peckett catches the disc at ankle height. And now looking into the end zone. An excellent conversion from the Nightmares to bring their score to 14-3. And that will be the end of the game, with the Nightmares moving forward to the semi-finals.